never singing my best playing. What? I'm waiting on this nigga wise, 3 loaves and 2 pies. Now he smoking that shit. I can see.
Well. September the 12th, 2014, in 30 hours, Floyd Money Mayweather will take a defeat, as I predicted. September the 12th, I am T Street Controversy. It is T Street Controversy Live. Floyd Money Mayweather, 46-0, 26 knockouts. Remember this. Weighed in at 146.5. Marcos El Chino Maidana weighed in at 146 pounds. He's 35-4 with 31 KOs. I'm T Street Controversy, and I call this grand establishment T Street Controversy Live. You want to see the entire weigh-in? I put the links right below. Go to Real Combat Media. The weigh-in is right there. The link is the first link in the description box. So, we're going to talk. Since we are one day away from history, I want to ask you this straight from the beginning. Have you ever thought about what would happen if Floyd Mayweather took a defeat? Could you fathom that? Could you think about the front page of your local paper showing Floyd Mayweather's face in defeat, whether he's knocked out or whether the cards are not in his favor? Can you think that all good things come to an end sometimes? Can you think that when it comes to the all-time greats, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Hitman Hearns, Marvin Hagler, they all take a defeat? Now, the boxers who have retired undefeated, most recently, most notably, Joe Calzaghe, he doesn't really get real respect for that. I respect Joe, but I'm saying as far as the boxing community is concerned, because they're saying, well, he fought in the super middleweight division. That's not what it is today. Listen to me, people. There's too much shit surrounding this fight. Too much shit. What I noticed while watching the weigh-in, and they do this every single weigh-in, they did not announce what titles were on the line. You may think that's something small, but to me, who covers these events, I'm thinking, okay, well, we know about the glove controversy, and what I want to know is Floyd Mayweather defending all of his titles? So it looks like we're not going to find out until tomorrow night. So to put things in perspective, why didn't they tell us what titles were on the line? You know, I'm just going to keep it simple like that. Because why? Because Robert Garcia stated that allegedly, I always got to say allegedly, that he looked over the contract for this fight and he saw that the gloves were 10-ounce gloves. Now, anyone who knows boxing knows that if you fight above 147 pounds, meaning if you weigh in above 147, you're technically a junior middleweight or super welterweight. So, meaning anything above 147, you fight in 10-ounce gloves. Now, the WBC granted Team Mayweather, because they requested to defend all of his titles in both divisions in one night. The only title I believe is not on the line is the WBA junior middleweight belt, or the WBA junior middleweight, and Iris Landy Lara has the other one. Long story. But what I want to get you to understand is that Floyd Mayweather himself, on the epilogue of All Access, and even if you haven't seen it all on the internet, that when it comes to the gloves, I'm not going to pull no slick shit on y'all. You're not going to pull no slick shit on me. And vice versa. So what do we see? Robert Garcia allegedly discovers in the contract, like, hold the fuck up. 10-ounce gloves? The fuck is this shit? Now, it's already known that Marcos Maidana can't wear his MX horsehair puncher's gloves. And people say, why do the gloves matter? I understand all that. Listen, we know Mayweather's A-side. We know Mayweather makes the decisions when it comes to the gloves. I understand that. We know how Oscar De La Hoya made him, wear whatever gloves that Oscar De La Hoya wanted. I understand that. But this is the second fight. This is not the first fight. So you could say, well, just like Floyd Mayweather said in a recent interview with Fox Sports, if he felt he won the fight, the first fight with those gloves, then wear the same gloves in the second fight. But in this case, if Robert Garcia didn't make the quick action just 2 days before the fight, just 1 day before the weigh-in, that let me look over this contract, because why are we wearing 10-ounce gloves? Then they would have been, Marcos Maidana would have had not his gloves, and not only would he be wearing the same gloves as he wore in the first fight, but he would be wearing a larger version of those gloves, therefore limiting his power even further. Once again, this is all stuff you can go find out on your own. I'm T Street Controversy, and I call the show T Street Controversy Live. Once again, if you want to see the weigh-in, right down below. I put the link, Real Combat Media. It's right there. But also, I run a boxing forum. My boxing forum is a personal Facebook page. I'm explaining it to you simple as shit. My boxing forum is a personal Facebook page. You have to send a friend request. And I'm heavily screening people these days, so there's going to be a lot of traffic. But I run my boxing forum as a personal Facebook page. So you're not going to see shit unless you send a friend request. The link is right below the Real Combat Media link. So, moving on. People are asking me, so this is going to be on the final predictions, the final video I'll do before the fight. People are asking me, how do you have Marcos Maidana winning? Just like in my gut, I felt that Sean Porter was going to beat Paulie Malignaggi. In my gut, I knew that Canelo was going to beat Angulo, even though my dumbass picked Angulo. In my gut, I knew that Miguel Cotto was going to defeat Sergio Martinez because of the knees. But in my gut, just like I did with the first fight, in the first fight I said, it's Marcos Maidana's not coming in there to box. Marcos Maidana was a 9-1 to a 12-1 underdog. And I said it wasn't going to be easy. I'm predicting now that Floyd Mayweather is going to do what you fans say to do. He's going to do exactly what you ask him to do. He's going to move. He's not going to languish on the ropes, quote unquote. That's a term that Al Bernstein used. And then when he decides to move and decides to do that head movement, that 37-year-old, almost 38-year-old body, Father Time is going to come and smack the shit out of him. And we're like, no, you can't do that no more. You old as fuck now. Now, in boxing, he's considered old. But in this day and age, with modern medicine and technology and all that, fighters can fight until they were in their 40s. Look at Bernard Hopkins, for crying out loud. But then again, he's an extraterrestrial, so you can't really, that's kind of, you can't really count that. But when will it all end? I have a unofficial reporter in Las Vegas right now. He spoke to a cabbie, and from what I'm getting is that Floyd Mayweather is not even loved in Las Vegas. Floyd Mayweather, when he goes to restaurants, him and Team Mayweather are ignorant to staff. There's so much I've been hearing. I just feel that it's time to come to an end. So before I wrap up this video, I want to ask you, do you really think he's going to retire undefeated? Now, it looks that way, yeah. We want to believe it. Just like we never thought Mike Tyson would lose to a Buster Douglas. We want to believe it. But realistically, the odds are not in his favor. Now, the misconception is that people think I want him to lose. Realistically, I thought about it the other day. I'm not even going to lie. I said if Floyd Mayweather loses, I'm going to have to fight back the tears. Now, I may have predicted him to lose in the past and I was wrong. But hey, I say, listen, I was drunk. But now, I'm thinking like, well, what if Floyd really does lose? I'm going to have to fight back the tears, ladies and gentlemen. And I just turned 31 years old. I'm grown as shit. And I'm thinking like, yo, I may say he's going to lose, but am I really ready? Do you know what would happen if Floyd Mayweather loses? Like I said, first page of every single major paper throughout the world. The whole world. The topic of all news on all sports platforms. Not to mention in this social media age. This is not like when De La Hoya lost to Trinidad or when he got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins. There was no social media then. But now in this social media age, if Floyd Mayweather takes a loss, my God, you're talking about the ultimate slaughter. You're talking about people putting guns in their mouths. Why? It's because they bet their life savings. So Floyd always wins. Every now and then, Vegas turns on you. Because you know why? Because those judges are not from Vegas. Boxing is a very corrupt and dirty sport. If you look at Floyd Mayweather's last 2 fights, they wasn't unanimous decisions. They tried to rob him with Canelo. And then look at the card with Mayweather-Maidana. You think them judges are getting sick of his ass? So when you think of, I use the example of, when Pacquiao allegedly said that all gays should be put to death. Remember that? Remember that scandal? Allegedly he said that, remember? And then what happens? He goes and loses the Timothy Bradley fight to the judges. I'm thinking, well, what if one of those judges got a daughter that was domestically abused? And they sitting there watching the fight, but their mind is filled with the bias. Now, think what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying here. These judges are regular, everyday people. These judges, believe it or not, these judges are not surrounded by security. If you know how to Google, and know how to search, you can find out who these judges are, and you can find out where they live at, and go to their house and say, listen, and give them a nice fat ass envelope and say, listen, Maidana. It's not going to be no cameras or any security around. And that's boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy. Like, I feel there's so much to talk about, but I've done so many videos on this that I really don't know. I can talk about so many different things. So let me run down to you the controversy surrounding this fight. You got the Miss Jackson lawsuit. You got the relentless attack of Floyd Mayweather by 50 Cent. You got the T.I. and the Tiny situation. You got Alex Ariza in his camp. You got the Ray Rice situation. You got the rumors of him fighting Pacquiao. You got him saying he's retiring in the next 2 fights. You got him on All Access around women who are smoking marijuana, and you think, wait a minute, are you going to pass a post-fight drug test? Because that shit can really get in your system. Trust me, I know friends, that failed, their drug test and got sent back to the pen because of secondhand smoke when the shit was in their system. Even if it's just a small amount, failed drug test. You have to ask yourself, like, realistically, with the Richard Schaefer, with the Mayweather promotions, with the license, with the Al Heyman, there is a lot of shit going on. And I ask you, I said, how does he deal with this? I've said in previous videos that even though he has the skills to beat Maidana, just like Manny Pacquiao got knocked out with a force of like 2 tons to his face. Every now and then, the big man comes down and smacks you in the fucking face. And even if you're atheist, science and statistics come down and smack you in the face. I'm going to be here live, ladies and gentlemen, right here after the fight. I'm a guy who has videos that have 300 likes and 1,600 dislikes. You know why? Because I keep my stance. And right now, him fighting Mayweather-Maidana in a rematch, that's balls. That's real big balls. to fight, you know, what he knows is going to be a rough and dirty fight. People thinking Kenny Bayless is going to be breaking up everything. Nah. Kenny Bayless is going to ref the fight. And he's not going to allow Mayweather to be talking to him like, yo, Kenny. No. Please subscribe. Like I said, once again, the weigh-in right below, Real Combat Media. If you're going to be up after the Mayweather fight, and like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be here live. And statistically, there's a good chance I'm going to be wrong. But like I said, I will be here live after the fight, and I'll end with this. Controversy sells. T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live.